Hi guys, this is Rich with Wild Wonderful Weekends, and I wanted to make a video today to talk a little bit about one of the drone gig companies that I used to use quite a bit for work, and I even recommended quite a bit to other people, especially if they were getting just started out in flying drones and they just got their Part 107. They wanted to earn a little money and gain a little experience, and that company is called ZiteView, and I'm pretty much not going to use these guys anymore. I've been really disappointed with them lately, and I'm going to tell you why. They used to be called Drone Base, and I even made a video on how to get set up with Drone Base and some of the gigs that you might expect to get through them, and the type of work that you'd be doing for them and stuff. And like I said, I thought they were a good company, and they were at the time. The pilot support was always knowledgeable and helpful and quick, and the money that you could make wasn't bad. It wasn't uncommon at all to see a little real estate job go for maybe $100, for the job, less than an hour's work. In a mapping mission, something that used drone deploy, that might even go $150, $250, something like that. It was pretty neat. Now that there's ZiteView, I'm finding that to be less and less the case, and I'll show you exactly why. One of the first things that started really bothering me about the way ZiteView operates was the way that their payout structure started to drop. So like it used to be that you could get a job, like I said, it was a real estate job. You would maybe take some images of the front of the building and property. Then you'd maybe fly a set of cardinal images at 100 feet above ground level, meaning, north, south, east, and west, and the kind of in-between angles also. And then you'd do that again at 350 feet, and that was it. And as you can see here, I'm going to show you some screenshots that I'd gotten over a mission that they sent several requests for. And it started out that they were wanting to pay $70 for this job. And then I guess nobody filled that role. It was for a mapping job in Lesage, West Virginia. And so they started upping the amounts. And it finally got up to, let's see, I think it was $253. I'll show you on the screenshots here in a little bit. Okay, so $225 is what it finally got up to. So to start out at $70 and then to go up to $225, it kind of goes back to what I was talking about in one of my other videos where I was showing you one of the programs I'd made to kind of help you know if a gig is profitable for you or not before you even set out. Because if they could afford to ultimately pay $225 to fill this mission, that means that they, as the scheduling company, are getting by far the lion's share of the profit. They're still probably making money on $225 paid to the pilot. It's not like they're going to take a lot of losses there. And so when pilots accept work for $70 to go do this mapping job, they're bringing the whole thing down. It's a race to the bottom. And that was kind of my point in that video where I made that drone gig profit calculator and put it out there that you could download, so that you would kind of know and be able to really kind of stand up for what you're worth. And it may feel like, yeah, but if I don't settle for 70, somebody else is going to get it and they're going to go make that money. Well, that really is okay because you are taking a lot of risk. ZiteView isn't paying any of the insurance for you. It's up to you to cover your own self for any risks that you might incur while you're out there flying your drone. So they aren't taking the risks. You're taking the risks. They aren't buying the equipment that you're using. You're buying the equipment that you're using. And so every time you go out there and fly a job, you got to consider those things. And I even made another program that kind of is meant more for people who are running their own drone business. And it really takes into consideration all those variables like depreciating assets and stuff like that. And how much of a tech investment you have and what you ought to be charging for your work. So if somebody, unless you're just brand new, you're building your portfolio and you want to make a little bit of money while you're doing it, to accept $70 for a mapping mission is really not a good idea. And if someone else does it, well, that just has to be okay, in my opinion anyway, because you're worth more than that. The work that you're doing, if you've trained, if you've gotten your certification and you're trying to do your best and deliver good product, then your time is worth more than that. Clearly, they can afford to eventually pay you closer to what that job would be worth. So anyway, I would just encourage everybody to not go out there, because if somebody's doing it for $70 an hour, they are incurring a lot of risk, and they're definitely putting wear and tear on their equipment and putting it at risk as well. That it just doesn't make sense, especially if you try my drone gig profit calculator and you really start to get a clear picture of how you're losing money, especially if you travel any real distance at all to do one of these jobs for that. But that's only part of the picture. And so the amount of money that they want to pay out is only part of the picture. And I even get it. A business is going to try to, have the best bottom line that they can. But at the same time, you as a drone pilot should be doing the exact same thing. And another thing that's really frustrating about ZiteView right now is the vast majority of missions that I see coming across on my notifications anyway for this area are foreclosures. And they pay very little money. See, $60 US to pay out here. And I don't know what it's like where you live, but usually the houses that are in foreclosure are in areas where I live that are pretty seedy. And it says right in the mission instructions, please be aware this house is foreclosure property and the occupants are not aware of the flight. But what do you think they're going to think when they look outside their window and there's some stranger near their house flying a drone? It's very unlikely they're going to be happy about that. And it says, please be discreet and leave immediately if you are approached. Do not go onto the property. Again, for me, for this payout, and for the risk that I'm incurring, that just isn't even close to worth it. But for me, the straw that really broke the camel's back was a series of emails that I had back and forth with some of the support folks at ZyteView over a job that I was going to take recently in Beckley, and I'll show you that right now. I got this email about an available mission in Beckley, West Virginia, which is pretty close to where I live, and I was going to be kind of in that area anyway, so I decided to take it. It was at 624 Johnstown Road in Beckley, and I looked that location up on Google Maps, and I saw that it was this large building here that they wanted me to get photographs of. And not only the building, but also the property. I looked this location also up on air control, and I saw that the maximum feet above ground level that I could fly with length was 100 feet. And when I looked at the instructions for this mission, I saw that the shot list required some images at 100 feet AGL, but also some images at 350 feet AGL. And the airspace in Beckley is a little complex for such a small area because they do have a nearby hospital, there's a military facility there, and a heliport. So I wrote back to support, and I just let them know that I was checking the airspace at that location, and link is only available for 100 feet AGL. And I wanted to make sure that that was acceptable before I drove to Beckley and shot this mission. They responded pretty quick. They thanked me for reaching out. And then they said the maximum altitude for this mission is up to 100 feet AGL. However, for 350 feet cardinal images, you can capture at different altitude less than 100 feet AGL. Please let us know if you have any questions. Well, I really wasn't sure what they were telling me, and I wasn't sure that they understood what I was asking them. So I wrote them back and thanked them for the quick response, and I let them know that I just wanted to make sure that everything was clear. And I said, so technically I can fly at 100 feet above the top of the structure I'm photographing as long as I'm within 400 feet radius of it. And if you studied for your Part 107 certification, you know that that's the case. You can fly up to whatever the approved altitude above ground level is above the structure you're photographing as long as you're within a 400 foot radius of it. And so I told them, so if the building is 150 feet tall, I can have my drone in the air up to 250 feet as long as I'm within 400 feet of the structure. But I also let them know that this meant that I may not capture all of the property in a single frame. And I said, if that's the case, will the photos I submit still be acceptable? They wrote back again a very brief message and just said, please try to take assets in 100 and 350 feet AGL and follow the instructions during the mission. That kind of upset me because that wasn't any support whatsoever. Definitely no guidance, and it was definitely no guarantee that anything that I shot would be acceptable. So I wrote back again and I let them know that that was impossible. The link is only available to 100 feet AGL, and with the restrictions so low to the ground, I won't be able to get the entire property in frame without risking going out of visual line of sight. And then I asked them to remove me from the mission. And they wrote back pretty quickly and was very polite, and they let me know that they did remove me from the mission. So that's basically it. It was very frustrating to me because it was clear that they didn't care if I got in some kind of trouble. They didn't care if I got my drone in a location it wasn't supposed to be. And I don't even think they understood clearly what I was asking. And like I said, it didn't seem like they had any experience with what the drone regulations even are. It seems to me like if you were running a company like this and you actually had support for drone pilots that are in the field doing work, you would want your support folks to be knowledgeable about what the rules and regulations are and be able to provide at least meaningful guidance when they come up against something like this. And they absolutely will reject your images. If you go out and you shoot this and for some reason you didn't get all the property in frame, you know, they can easily reject those images. I've had images rejected. I had a couple images on a commercial real estate shoot one time that for some reason the drone missed focus on a couple images, and I had to go back out and shoot those. So this is very early on when I was just getting started, and that was with a drone base, I believe, at the time. But anyway, let me know your opinion in the comments. You know, that's just my point of view. And overall, I wish you safety and good luck as you move forward in your drone jobs as well. Take care.